This is Big John here, and welcome to my kitchen. This is where I create just random stuff, and I'm trying to do this all on the carnivore diet. And today we're going to make up some ham. So I got some ham. I bought it for my daughter, and apparently she didn't really want it. My wife said my daughter was into ham, so I got some ham steaks. We're going to get that fried up here in the pan, and then I'm going to dice it up. We're going to pop some eggs in the pan and get them cooked up. And then after that, I have some leftover taco meat. I just have a hard time with seeing all this leftover taco meat just sit here and go to waste. I almost wish we didn't cook up as much taco meat, and the seasoning's a little bit heavy. So, I mean, whatever. I'm okay with it. I need to find a utensil to flip this ham over. And we'll use the trusty tongs today. Hey, Amber, good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, welcome back to my kitchen here. Today I'm cooking up some ham and some eggs, and maybe some leftover taco meat. And I'm just going to make a quick breakfast. I have to get out of the house. I'm going to check the P.O. box today to see if anybody, blessed me with a postcard or a gift or whatever. So far, I haven't received anything in my P.O. box since I got a P.O. box for the YouTube channel, which is a little bit saddening, but whatever. It's only money. I'm gonna shut my son's bedroom door so I don't set off the fire alarm. But yeah, we're gonna get this cooked up, and hopefully it's gonna turn out just fine and delicious as usual. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, we're doing ham and eggs. So this is basically what I got going on here. Got 4 of these eggs. Apparently I found out these are Wilcox eggs that they sell at Costco, and they're freaking amazing. A lot of these eggs, like this one here, is probably a double yolker. Sometimes every single one of them will turn out to be a double yolker. Then we have some leftover taco meat that needs to be gone. If I don't eat it, the dog's gonna get it. I'm gonna flip this ham over. I'm just trying to brown the ham a little bit, and then I'm gonna slice it up on the cutting board while I cook my eggs here in just a minute. But man, let's see. Welcome, Ain. Hello there, new here. This stream is basically, I do random live streams. I mainly talk about carnivore related topics. I've been doing the carnivore diet for quite a while now, and I've been losing a lot of weight. I've been regaining a lot of my health, and that's the main reason I get out here, is I just talk about my experience with that, because I'm not out here to tell people how to eat, what to do. I'm just here to explain, like, hey man, I'm having success with something that I didn't think I was going to have success with. Similar to my weight loss journey, altogether, is I started out at 435 pounds, and now I'm down to like, 300 and something. And I've only been doing this for like 49 weeks now. I believe we're working on week 50 of my total weight loss journey. I'm already setting off the fire alarm in the other room. I got too much heat. Too much heat on the pan. All right, that's brown enough. We're going to call that good. We're going to take it off of there. All right, we're going to shut that off for a second until this thing stops making noise. All right. Oh, just like that, guys. This is why I shut the son's bedroom door. And I was seriously just trying to brown my ham a little bit. That's all I was trying to do. So, yeah. Flip you around so you guys can see what's going on. But, yeah, I just like to get a little bit of coloring on the ham. And we're going to get that just heated up again. Let's see here. Now, when I'm cooking my eggs, I like to use this, which is a pretty safe oil. This is way better than Pam. Avocado oil spray. You can find this at any grocery store now, at least up here in Alaska. This stuff is amazing compared to using Pam, vegetable oil, or any type of seed oil. I do not have any adverse reactions to this particular oil, even if I use a lot of it, which I found incredibly interesting, because this stuff, we tend to overdo it when we do our oil. So we're just going to let that get heated up. And I'm going to get some eggs popped in there in just a second. But yeah, the oils that we use, for cooking, it's just amazing. So I use avocado oil, and this over here is just, real high quality olive oil that we can buy at Costco, the good stuff. And that's what I use. And something else I use for cooking is I always save my bacon grease. You never know when this is going to come in handy. And apparently this isn't as unhealthy as we were taught when we were kids. I mean, they told us so much stuff was bad for us. And then over a period of time, we just stopped ignoring ingredients and stuff like that. So we were just, yeah, I got something that kind of breaks my heart here. I'm going to shut this stove off for just a second because I want to talk about this here. So this is something my daughter brought home. And this is a food option at her school. And I got it sitting over here, and I set it over here for just because I wanted to talk about it, but I also wanted to, I'm going to mess this up. There we go. I'll get you guys up a little higher. Bump, bump. Now you guys can look at my forehead. But this is a product she was sent home with. And years ago, this would have been considered a relatively innocent product. But when I looked at it, it says, keep frozen. And I was like, why? But, so this is just a basic snack. Pillsbury is kind of a decent company. I worked for them when I was down in lower 48. I made a lot of pizza crust for places like Pizza Hut. We also made a lot of desserts and stuff like that in the factory. I didn't even know Pillsbury was making this kind of stuff, but it says here, Pillsbury Frutal. They don't even call it a strudel. It's a frutal, flavored with other natural flavors. That's already something that we try to avoid. And it says here, this little package here, which doesn't weigh much. It's like 2 ounces, and it's about 210 calories per package. But I was just curious about the ingredients when I flipped it around in the back. And I'm gonna beat you up. You're being a butthead. Okay. So the ingredients start off with whole wheat flour, enriched flour. So if the whole wheat flour wasn't bad enough, we have to put enriched flour. And if my camera falls over, it's this guy's fault. This is my cat, Dusty. Let's see. And I didn't really pay much attention to these ingredients years ago. Yeah, literally like a year ago, I paid almost no attention to ingredients, what the ingredients do. I mean, we got whole wheat flour, enriched flour. I mean, it's modified already. And then it works on into barley flour. It's like we need 3 types of flour to make this. Iron, thiamine, riboflavin, folic acid. And that's just the ingredients in the actual wrapper of the strudel. So this part right here that you can see. Now we get down into the apple strudel filling. The first ingredient is water. And then the second ingredient, of course, is sugar. Apples are sugar all by themselves. You don't need to add sugar to apples. And then the next ingredient, corn syrup. Oh, that's sugar too. That's high fructose corn syrup. Holy cow. So now we got apples, which are sugar. Now we're adding sugar. Now we're putting corn syrup in there, which is sugar. Then we have modified cornstarch because the cornstarch, normal cornstarch, isn't good for you. So we're using modified cornstarch. This is what we're feeding the kids. I mean, this is stuff that we would buy at the store, or I would typically buy at the store and think it's an okay option for my kids to snack on. It's not. This is bad stuff, by the way. Okay, and then after we get past the modified cornstarch, we got apple pulp. We don't even put like full pieces of apple in here. We have like apple pulp, and then we like mold it into like this conglomerate. And I know what they do to this stuff, by the way, because I worked in the factories, the food factories. When they say they use apple pulp, they put it in like a little mold, and they kind of make it almost into like a really nasty looking gelatin. And then they put it in there, and it kind of resembles like when you're biting into it, like a bite of actual apple. But yeah, it's like apple parts, kind of like McDonald's chicken McNuggets, where they just, and then they mold it. You ever notice that McDonald's chicken nuggets are almost always the same size? Like they look similar shapes and stuff. There's hardly any variety as far as shapes and stuff like that. So yeah, we already got 3 different types of sugar in here. Let's see, malic acid, palm kernel oil, because you need kernel oil in here. That's no good for you. Oh, look, another sugar. So now we're up to 4 sugars with molasses. Holy crap. I mean, they're trying to kill your kids with this stuff, by the way. I mean, they're trying to get your kids hooked on sugar so they'll never be able to get away from the sugar. And it's just simple little products like this. And I used to think Pillsbury products were pretty good for us and healthy. You're gonna drive me insane today. I know, you just need attention. I'll give you some. Let's see what other nonsense we have in here. Sodium citrate. We got salt, of course. Salt is really nice for flavor. You got bean gum, Kerrigan, and then of course we have the natural flavors. And then holy cow, we got more water, and then there's more sugar. So now we're at what, 5 or 6? I lost count. There's so much sugar in this. And then over here, they lie to us on the back of the package too. It's even better. So we got gelatin gum. Oh yeah, water, sugar, soybean oil. So we already have one type of oil in here that I mentioned before, and now they're going to put in another type of, oh, they had palm kernel oil, and now they have soybean oil, both inflammatory, both cause us all kinds of problems, memory loss, attention deficit disorder, along with the sugar. Okay. Let's see, it contains 2% less of yeast, whey, salt. I've been talking about this now for what, almost 10 minutes? And this is just the ingredient list on the back of this. I mean, it's just, there's so much going on here that you can't even make sense of it all. And then on the back here, we got nutrition facts. So this is this is an absolute lie after you guys heard everything I just mentioned, which was all these sugar ingredients, what 4 or 5 different types of sugar in this one little package here. It says here, total sugars is 10 grams. You got 5 different types of sugar in here. You got some sugars that are like super sugars, like high fructose or corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup. They're on the same level of things, but total 10 grams of sugar in here. What in the world? That is a bunch of boo hockey. And then it says it includes 9 grams added sugars, 19%. I mean, it's just, and then 4 grams of protein. So we're getting protein in this. I mean, that most people hear protein and they're like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, like carnivore diet. Yeah, woohoo. But seriously, stop it with this. It drives me absolutely nuts. We're going to show you what we're going to do with this crap. My kid's not going to eat this. I don't know why it says refrigerate either. There is so much preservatives and bull crap in there. It shouldn't even be a food option in this country. Why do we do this? I'm sorry, I'm close to the phone. I'm a little emotional because that just drives me nuts. You know, I struggle every single day when I watch my children. You know, we ask them what they want for dinner. They don't want anything healthy. And then we try to find them somewhat healthy options. That's not it, by the way. That is not it. Not even close. And the fact that that came from the school, I mean, that really surprises me. And if I were to bring this up to my school board, and I would be like, hey, what's this? Why are we feeding our kids this specific item? Why don't you just give them a Red Bull? You know, why don't you just go out and buy them a Monster Energy drink? And then they'll say, oh, that's not healthy. And I'll say, well, what's up with this thing? And they'll be like, oh, well, budget cuts and we can't afford this or that. And that's an affordable option. I said, how is giving your kids diabetes an affordable option? I mean, okay, yeah. Let's see. Just go ahead and block me, chicken butt. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm ranting today. But yeah, I just have a hard time when I look at all this. And I just had a birthday. You know, I went through that whole process of having a birthday. And you know what comes with birthdays? Typically birthday cake. I didn't have any birthday cake. I did have a treat. I'm going to be talking about that on this weekend's video in better detail when we do our weight loss update over the weekend. These live streams, I try not to give away everything in my videos for the weekend because my videos are struggling. But I guess that's because I'm not making very good videos anymore. And YouTube said to do more live streams like this because it really works. I mean, even though, you know, I'm lacking the ability of making awesome creative videos, which is frustrating because I spend a lot of money on cameras and microphones and computers and stuff like that. But all right, I need to I need to get the eggs in the pan here. Get you guys over here so you can kind of see what's going on here while I struggle. While I struggle in my kitchen. I'm gonna get these eggs in there. Then I'm gonna cut up the ham. But yeah. So I usually heat this up pretty hot, and then I turn it down to just about medium heat. And then I wind up making a mess trying to get eggs in here. Oh yeah, double yolker right off the bat. Boom. Yeah, Wilcox eggs at Costco. You get the brown ones. They're a little more expensive, but they're worth it. Trust me. All right, get this one in there. Boom, another double yolker. Look at that. These are Costco eggs, by the way, guys. The brown ones. You want the brown ones. They're super healthy. There's way more nutrients in here. And plus, you get double yolkers. Watch this. Let's see if I got another one. This one might be a double yolker, too. All right, here we go. Oh, boom. Another double yolker. Look at that. Okay, I got three in a row. Three. Yeah. And I got egg all over my fingers. This one's going to be a single yolker because I can just feel it. It's going to be single. Yep. Oh, no, that was a little tiny double yolker. All right, amazing. Holy cow. You guys see that? Okay. So, also today I'm going to show you guys a little something that I like to do differently. I need to get this stuff out of my pan. So this is my other pan. So something I like to do is I like to cook these on low heat. Just let them hang out there. I'll take that pan and I'll just set it over the top like that. And then after a little while, oh yeah, take a look at that. Look at all those yolks. That's 4. I cracked 4 eggs in there. Ha! But yeah, I just let that sit on there like that. And the key to getting eggs not to stick isn't the amount of oil, isn't the amount of bacon grease. I mean, of course, if you overfill the pan with oil and grease and lard or whatever you want to use, beef tallow, nothing's going to stick. But I don't want my eggs to be engulfed in oil because you consume a lot of that oil. Even if it's a good healthy oil, you don't always want to have that much in there because it does affect the flavor. And if you overheat even eggs, it tends to change the the minerals and the stuff, whatever's in the eggs that make it healthy. You don't want to overcook your eggs. Now I'm just being greedy. That's gross amount of cholesterol. That's an awesome amount of cholesterol, by the way. You know, that's one thing I was afraid of when I started the carnivore diet. I was like anybody else out there. I was brainwashed to think that I needed to worry about my cholesterol. Well, as I got further down the road and I started learning more about health, nutrition, and what happens when you consume stuff like this. So if I were to eat this right here, it would be dangerous if I was still eating the standard American cuckapoo diet and going to eat fast food like McDonald's or even Subway. If I was eating ultra processed foods, eating too much bacon and too many eggs, absolutely. That's exactly, in my opinion, how you make yourself ready for a heart attack. I mean, so if you cut out all the overly processed foods and you're eating only whole foods, you can eat as many eggs as you want. And this week I'm going to be eating, I don't know how many eggs. I'm probably going to be eating like 60 to 80 eggs this week until Saturday morning's weigh-in. I mean, I can eat stuff like bacon. On the carnivore diet, I've eaten so many pounds of bacon, so much meat. I mean, people would have, even myself, I would have thought that, no way, that's ridiculous. Why would I do that? I'm just going to have a heart attack and die. My blood pressure is going to go through the roof. My arteries are going to get clogged with all kinds of gunk and crap. My blood pressure is perfect right now, by the way. It is absolutely perfect. My blood pressure is better now than when I was going through basic training in the military and I was eating all that crappy food that they were serving us at the mess hall. But you had a choice of what you could eat in the military. So when I got crappy food in the military, that was my doing. So even if it was, eggs, bacon, ham, we would often screw it up by grabbing the French toast, the pancakes, and then we'd put syrup on top. That's how you screw up a good thing. I didn't know that. I just thought I needed all those extra carbs because that's what we were taught. And I've been finding out that it's the exact opposite. We don't need a bunch of extra carbs. I mean, you can have some carbs, and I will once in a while, but I'm not having carbs like I used to. Not even close. I mean, I'll add in some once in a while just because I feel like it. That's my choice. But I'm not adding them in because, some health guy said, oh, you got to have that in order for your brain to function. No, you need fat. You need the actual animal fat. You need the cholesterol from the eggs. You need all of that, for your brain to function correctly, just so you can hold your train of thought and actually talk. I mean, this stuff works. All right. I'll turn the heat down on that a little bit. I need to get this ham cut up and get it ready to go. Da-da. So that way, when my eggs are done, I can just kind of toss this all together. And I do want to get some of this this taco meat ready. Boom, 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 boom. Now, sometimes I will add cheese to that. That's not too bad. But this week, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight, because I just had a birthday. And I did have a snack that was slightly off the rails. But it's not a big deal. And the only reason it's not a big deal is because I know how to recover from it now, with this way of eating. So this is what we got here with the eggs. So when you leave the pan on there, it's heating up, it's preheating that pan. But now I got to make sure that this is going to release the way I want it to. And it looks real nice. Okay. So we're going to leave that set for just a little bit longer. And then literally all I do is I just pick this up like this and I flip it over. So while this is heating up like this, it's preheating this top pan. And it's also, spritzing off a little bit of the oil and the grease and stuff is getting on this pan. So it's kind of getting it set up for what I'm about to do next, which is literally just flip it over. But I made this for my wife the other day. She loved it. She was like, she took a bite of mine, of course. And she's like, how do you do that? I was like, I don't know. I've been fat for like the entire time me and my wife have been married. I always made really weird, random food items. Typically, it was something like ramen noodles mixed with all kinds of different other canned soup, processed food with more processed food on top of it. And then, yeah, of course, that's how you get to be 435 pounds like me. I'm only like 300 and something now. But that's because I learned a thing or two about weight loss. I learned a thing or two about the carnivore diet. I learned a few things about, fasting, learning how to read ingredients on the back of packages and understand them. I mean, I can go through a lot of the ingredients and just automatically know that, okay, if I can't understand the word or pronounce the word, that's typically not something I want to eat. I also learned that, sugar, just sugar in itself, in the United States has 50 different words that they can use on the back of ingredient packages, just so they're not saying just straight up that this is sugar. They got what? Maltodextrin, maltose, sugar. They got high fructose corn syrup. Corn syrup is sugar. I mean, there's so many different words for sugar. It just drives me insane. It's like, wow, why did we allow this to happen? Oh yeah, for profit. They're doing it because they want to make money off of you. Not only so you eat their crappy food, but so you can be a diabetic and you can take their crappy medicine. I mean, they got you hooked. They got you hooked one way or the other. All right, we're going to get ready to flip these eggs. So this could go 12 different ways till Sunday. And let's see, what do I got there? Okay, that's good enough. But yeah, literally I just take this pan. My eggs are looking amazing. We're going to double check to make sure they'll release. And it looks like they will release. And if you want to, you can put a little bit of salt on here. But seriously, all I do is I just take that, boom. And then they come out. I'll let them sit like this for just a little bit. You don't need that pan anymore. I can get that out of the way. Then after this is done and I got it on the plate, I overcooked it slightly, but that's because we're doing this on camera. You can cook it a little less if you want. But when it's done, it's going to have like almost an over hard type of egg with a little bit of runny yolk in it. It's going to be absolutely delicious. It's so good. But yeah, you see how that's not sticking at all? It's just floating on the pan. And then I want a little bit of this loveliness. So that's another thing. I learned about salt since I started the carnivore diet. I knew nothing about salt. Himalayan pink salt, Redmond salt, Celtic sea salt. If you're going to salt stuff, use this good type of salt. Don't use the crappy salts. You know, if it looks white, that's not the salt you want. That's overly processed salt. It's probably got a bunch of other crap in there. And then we're just going to take this and plop, and just like that, that's what it looks like when it's done. All right, we're going to take this pan here, since it's already wrecked. What do I want to do here? Here we go. I'm going to take a little bit of butter and get that going. Then we're going to add the ham back in. Boom. This just gives me a little bit more healthy fats. The butter is super healthy. I mean, I could even use bacon grease. It would be super healthy. And I do have a little heat on there. No. My flame going? Nope. Yeah, there it is. All right, good. Got a little bit of flame there. We're going to pop the ham right back in. But now just imagine me. You guys, there's a lot of you here on this stream right now that have followed me for quite a while on my weight loss journey. And just imagine me before I figured out how to lose weight. You guys have watched me make all kinds of ridiculous things here in the kitchen. Now just imagine that with unhealthy foods. So yeah, that's what I would normally do, you know, as a real life person. And that's how I got to be so epically fat and large. And I need to get a tool, because this is just leftover taco meat. We're going to put a little bit of this in there. See how that works out, maybe. Okay. I really don't want to waste this. I mean, it's burger. It's good burger, but it's just got, the taco meat itself has just got a little bit too much seasoning in it for me to want to eat like right out of the package. Ta-da! All right, you're going to get you back in the fridge. Guys, I really hope my work starts to pick up soon, because I'm about broke. I mean, we're getting to the point where I'm starting to worry. I don't know if we're going to make it, you know, until the end of May. I got to start making some money here. And there lies the problem with being an Alaskan truck driver, is that we tend to, I didn't get moneyed up for this winter this year like I should. So normally I can just kind of hang out and do stuff like this because we have money from the last summer saved up. And then we do stuff in the wintertime. We haul snow, but snow hauling is, you know, you have to have snow falling from the sky in order to go haul snow. And we had quite a bit. But since the cost of living went up so high this year, you know, for everybody, it just made it absolutely impossible to save anything. That's all done. I mean, inflation sucks. I mean, call it what you want. You can call it Bidenomics. I don't care, you know. But yeah, we need a freaking break from it all. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of paying so much money for gasoline. I'm tired of paying so much money for everything. It just never ends. It's like we just keep getting in trouble. I think all my forks are over here. But all right, we're gonna go wander over this way and flip you guys around, and then I can actually have a chance to talk to you guys for a little bit and see what's going on in here. Aha. Okay. Oh no, I forgot water. I forgot water again. I always forget my water. So yes, I was thinking about, it's actually kind of sunny outside today. I was thinking about busting out the mountain bike, and I haven't been on my mountain bike, since it's been like over a year or more. It's technically my son's mountain bike now because I gave it to my son. Because I was so fat, I couldn't ride it. It wasn't comfortable. Ta-da! Oh. Can you get a job for a few weeks? Well, there's the problem. When you're a truck driver and you clutter up your work history, because truck drivers have to report every job. I mean, it's like if you had like 12 different jobs in between seasons, you're supposed to report those on your DMV record and all that stuff. And then there's this new little finagled internet thing to try to keep track of us on our medical side and stuff. So it's a lot of politics. So every time I add, like, even like I worked for O'Reilly's Auto Parts. I worked for this place for a period of time when I first started losing weight. That's extremely helpful. I liked the company, but I didn't like the company. I did not like their computers. I did not like how they had any of it set up. It was really hard to understand. It was really hard to navigate. So I tried to avoid customer relations at the counters because I was a bumbling idiot trying to figure out, it's like you got to figure out all the little paths to get to places. And then sometimes you type in something and it's like, well, why are there 12 different locations for spark plugs, or, 12 different locations for windshield wipers? It's not all in the same area. So you have to go looking for stuff. My target weight, well, I'm looking, originally when I first started the journey, I was just shooting a number out there, 235. Now, if I could get down to 235, I could possibly get in my Class A uniform from when I got out of the military, because I believe that was the last weight I was at when I was wearing that uniform. It's nothing fancy. It's not covered with a whole bunch of crap, but it's it's my old military uniform that I wore, when I got out of the military. And I bulked up super fast. So I believe I enlisted in the military at 185 pounds. And then by the time I was out of basic training, I was up over 200 pounds easy. And then, well before I got out of the military, I was probably, about 285 or something like that. But there was a period of time I was in the military, I couldn't fit in my Class A uniforms, and I was glad I didn't have to wear it all the time. But, all right, we're gonna chomp on into this bad boy here. And the eggs are cooked a little bit over hard, which is fine. I don't care. We got our ham. So realistically, I would be happy with 285 or 265 when it comes to my goal weight. But yeah, it's just foods like this. This is kind of how I'm getting there, how I'm doing this. I mean, this will be the majority of my food for today. Later on today, I'm probably just going to eat just eggs. But I already had the ham anyway, so I was like, well, might as well get them made up. No cheese. I'm not covering it in a bunch of ketchup. This is super good, even with that little bit of taco meat on. There's just a little bit of taco meat on there, and it's seasoned up with taco seasoning, whatever's in that. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that. There are some things that I just really don't care about. I know some people are super strict on what they're eating and what ingredients and what stuff's in there, but when it comes to like simple seasonings or maybe some sauces, as long as I'm not drowning my food in the stuff, I'm not going to worry about some nonsense. But I will avoid high fructose corn syrup by all means. If there's high fructose corn syrup, I will throw it in the trash. I won't use that. Maybe we got some questions coming on here. No, I used to work at O'Reilly's there. Yaze. Okay. Well, I do something like that. I put the meat on the bottom and eggs cook on top. Gets crispy, yumminess. I do it 12 different ways to Sunday there, Shannon. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Okay. Lisa, from someone who's spent a lot of time on the other side of O'Reilly's counter lately, I don't like the way their computer price things I need. Yeah, Lisa, bless life. From as a person that's worked there, and I experienced the auto parts shortage firsthand. Like, I was so frustrated because, you go to a parts store, you're looking for auto parts, and every city has got like a distribution center, an O'Reilly's distribution center. This goes for Napa. This goes for AutoZone. Any of them, they have their own little distribution center, and that's where all their parts are kept. They can only keep so many auto parts inside these tiny little stores, let alone have management good enough to keep the stores afloat. But, that's just another part of the issue. But I could not believe at how many auto parts were just unavailable. They weren't making them anymore. There was a problem with getting the cores, because people stopped returning the cores. So they were running out of cores in the lower 48 or even in Mexico, wherever the parts came from. But they could not send the parts to us fast enough. And some people like here in Alaska, they might be waiting 3 to 6 months for parts, even for big trucks, these big commercial vehicles, because we don't have a lot of those parts here in the state. So we have to order them from out of state. And some of those parts they just stopped coming. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining John's live. John has been losing weight on the carnivore diet. Feels free to ask questions, carnivore or non-carnivore. Yeah, I try to answer questions as I notice them. Sometimes the questions come in a little bit too fast, and I can't keep up with them all. But that's okay. But seriously, when talking about the carnivore diet, I know if you haven't never done it before in your entire life, you're probably listening to me. If you are listening to me at all, like, you're freaking nuts. Why would you do that to yourself? That is so unhealthy. And trust me, a lot of us that are doing it now started out with that same mindset. That can't be true. All these claims of weight loss and better health and no more diabetes and no more high blood pressure, that's impossible to get rid of with just eating meat and salt and electrolytes. I thought that. Absolutely. 100%. So, okay. All animal products here on this plate. And this is working. This worked. Now, if I could show you, I don't have any pictures just hanging around of what I used to look like. But my head was like this much bigger. My face was that much bigger. I mean, if you click on my profile here and check out my channel, you can go back to my very first video. And you can see me sitting out here in my beautiful entryway. And I'm just, wow, what a difference. I mean, in only 50 weeks, this is the difference here. This is what I have. And I have so much more motivation. I'm having way more fun communicating with others. And when I started, I was embarrassed to get on camera. I was embarrassed to talk about everything. Because there's a lot of situations that go on inside the body and around weight loss, that are embarrassing topics. And that's the stuff that I like to cover. So I like to cover whatever the embarrassing topics are, because nobody's talking about the embarrassing, the hard stuff, because I couldn't hardly get in or out of the shower. My feet were so numb from having neuropathy. And there's so many people out there like myself that are suffering from neuropathy, which is the numbness in the feet, where your feet just feel funny. It feels like you're walking on pins and needles. I had neuropathy. I had plantar fasciitis, where the tendons weren't working correctly on the bottom. So it hurt. It felt like I was stepping on railroad spikes when I was trying to walk. I mean, there were all kinds of issues going on there. And then the issues around the poop, because when you're morbidly obese, your poop's already screwed up. You're not having a normal turd. I mean, you're having diarrhea, you're having constipation, you're having a little bit of everything. Sometimes you're having bloody stool, and you don't know why. And the first thing that comes to mind is, you got some sort of cancer going on. That's where I was. My anxiety was flaring up, depression, all kinds of stuff was going on as a result of the amount of weight I had. 435 pounds is nothing to joke about. And I know there's other people out there. They're gaining. They're at 435 and they're still going up. That's their business. I don't shame them for that, because I know how easy it was for me to get to 435 pounds. I know the process. I can explain to anybody how to become that heavy. I mean, it's not hard. Just eat a lot of pizza. I eat so much pizza. Let's see. We got Michael. Michael's here. Let's see. God is good, man. Keep getting swole. Yeah, God is good, man. If it wasn't for God, and if it wasn't for me laying in bed asking for God to take my life, because when I was that epically fat, 435 pounds, I was asking for God to take me out of this world. I was done. I wasn't going to commit suicide, but I was just like, my sleep apnea was out of control. I couldn't get rest, even with the CPAP. I was having a hard time. I was just laying there and just saying, God, please take me away. I'm sorry. I screwed up this life. Maybe we can try it again some other time. But, that's when he reached down and he just slapped me in the head. And he said, no, we're not done with you yet. You need to go figure this or that out. And just out of nowhere, that was where I figured out all kinds of stuff about fasting. So after I got that epiphany, you know, like God was talking to me while I was sleeping there and praying, and he's telling me, sorry, dude, you're not cat. My cat did cat stuff. Now I got spilt water on my, oh, dang it. But yeah, I woke up, and I literally woke up. My cat just stole one of my pieces of ham. Jerk. I'm going to beat that. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him. And I don't mean that, like, seriously. It just annoys me. So we're going to go see what he's doing. Hey, you. Hey, stop it. Let's not do this. Not today. Oh, no. See, you made a mess. Now I got to clean it up. And you stole a piece of ham and you didn't even eat it. What is that? Hey, not your toy. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Bum, bum. There. Ooh, that's actually a better color. Weird. I don't know how all this stuff works. You know, this live streaming and shaking the camera around. And you're not going to eat this, so I'm giving this to the puppy. Here you go. Good dog. Okay, you're going to run away now. Goodbye, fluffy butt. You come back again and play. Ugh, cats. But okay, back to where I was. You know, I was laying in bed praying for God to take my life. And then he's you know, basically was like, no, we're not gonna take you now. You got stuff to do. I want you to share your journey. I want to share your adventure. You're already doing YouTube videos. I want you to be humbled and I want you to be embarrassed so you can help others. That's what I'm here for, is basically just to help others with my own embarrassment. I don't make hardly any money at all doing this, by the way. And this is just what I do to maybe wake up somebody that's suffering, somebody that's having an issue with being obese or having neuropathy in their legs, or they're suffering from severe edema. There is a way out. Maybe you have type 2 diabetes and you're looking to correct it or get off certain medications. That's up to you. But there is an avenue to get out of that. And that's all I'm here to talk about, is my journey and how I don't have to take medications anymore. I used to be an asthmatic. I haven't used my inhaler this entire time I've been on carnivore, which is weird. And now I can run up hills. Now I can hopefully get out here and ride a bike. I can go for long walks, all because of carnivore. I can breathe again. My sleep apnea has reduced dramatically, just dramatically. So I was at, like, if anybody's got sleep apnea out there, yeah, the carnivore diet can help that too. It can help your anxiety. It can help your thought processes. It can help so many things. It even improves your eyesight for some. It definitely got rid of the eye floaters. So if you have eye floaters, you're probably consuming too much sugar, too many carbs. That's where the eye floaters come from. You get rid of all that crap, all the processed nonsense that's creating the eye floaters, they go away. So, I mean, is that potentially going to make like stuff like cataracts and stuff next to non-existent? I mean, I don't know how those things form, but yeah, just cut out all the crap and just start eating, you know, meats and healthy fats, you know, bare minimum, just whole foods. I don't care if you do a carnivore diet or not. This is just what I'm doing because it works for me, because it's really hard for me to overeat meats and fats. I can overeat vegetables, and I can get horrible results from overeating vegetables too. Now, it's not very often, you know, people talk about wild animals and stuff like that, like, oh, you know, animals are carnivorous. Well, not all animals are carnivorous, but one of my best examples is a freaking rabbit. You know, what do rabbits eat? You know, rabbits aren't eating breads. They're not eating meat as a general rule. And they get fat. Rabbits get fat pretty quick because they're overeating vegetables. See, what's in a vegetable that can make a rabbit fat? There's a lot of carbs. There's a lot of oxalates. There's a lot of all kinds of stuff. So thinking that vegetables is the answer for everybody, and everybody should just eat vegetables because you shouldn't want to kill an innocent animal and eat the meat. Okay, I mean, that's preference. I mean, if you're a vegan, I get it. I respect vegans. You know, I just don't like it when they, you know, like, you're such a horrible person because you're eating animals. No, I'm eating animals because this is how I survive and I get healthy. That's why I'm eating animals. When I ate vegetables, I was getting sick. I was always sick. there was something wrong with me. I was having issues with everything. I was having issues with how I urinated. I had having issues with how I pooped. I was having issues with hormones. My attitude was just off the wall, argumentative. You said anything that would offend me at all, and I was offended by the most easy things. When I was eating just vegetables, and I would just be like, let's argue about it. I was ready. Now when people try to argue with me, I just look at them like, okay, I gotta go do stuff. So we'll see you later. Like, it was nice talking to you. I hope you get over that ravenous sensation of being angry and pissed off all the time. I don't do that stuff anymore. And I don't get mad at people when they say I got a big head. Yeah, I got a big forehead. It's shiny. Yeah, I'm bald. I'm okay with that. Animals eat vegetables, so you don't have to. Well, it's not just that. We have a lot of carnivorous type animals. And I hear the equation go back and forth. We got the rabbits. Rabbits eat vegetables. They get fat. We got carnivorous type animals. How many of those carnivorous type animals are getting fat from eating all that meat? They're not eating vegetables like lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, they're not eating vegetables. Well, bears get fat. Bears eat a little bit of both. They might get into the salmon real heavy. They might eat other, animals they can catch and capture. But they eat a lot of low-lying berries. They eat a lot of, leafy stuff. And as they're foraging, they're kind of like a pig. Bears are big, they're scary, but they forage around kind of like a pig. I've heard some of them getting into mushrooms and stuff like that, but they get fat from eating the vegetables. They're not getting fat from eating the salmon. I mean, it's just amazing. Like, lions and tigers. When's the last time you saw a fat lion or tiger? They're eating, and they're living a long time. They're living a long, pretty much healthy life unless something takes them out. But they look pretty good. They look muscular. They look in shape. I mean, go figure. They're just eating meat. Weird. Hey there, Carnivore Scott. I appreciate you jumping in. Very nice to see you. I saw you were, I don't know if you were having a live stream when I got this started, but yeah, today so I made a bunch of eggs in the pan. I got a little bit of taco meat on there for flavor, so I really don't even have to add any sauce to it. And I had 4 double yolkers when I cracked the eggs, 4 double yolkers. And I had some ham steak left over, so I cut it up, browned it up, just added it in. And this is going to be my breakfast, even though it's almost 11 o'clock now. I have to get out and check the P.O. box, because I only do that once a week, by the way. I go out and check the P.O. box, see if anybody sent me any mail. So if you go to the description of my channel, and any of you, I don't care who you are, send me a postcard. I'll talk about it. I'm not going to, you don't even have to put your return address on it. It only costs a couple cents to send a postcard. I would like to start a collection of random postcards from around the world, because this is something I used to do with my father. We used to do this when we were talking sideband on the old CBs and ham radios. We had things called QSL cards, and I had a whole bunch of them, but he's passed away now. I don't know what happened to that collection of QSL cards, and we had a whole tote full of money, not very expensive money, just random bits of money from all over the world. We'd always collect that too whenever we could, and we kept that all in a little tiny box. But it's probably been lost, no big deal. But I'd like to create something like that for my children, like a shoebox just full of little tiny whatnots, from around the country, something inexpensive, easy to do, a fun way to keep connected. If you're from South Africa, yeah, I'd love a postcard from South Africa. I would be thrilled. That would be an amazing gift, for me to talk about on here, because I appreciate stuff like that. Let's see, your dad may have had a QSL from my dad. That's very possible. I mean, without the old cards to go look at, I don't know. But I remember he enjoyed it a lot. So it's something I would like to start, because my collection from my dad got lost. I don't know what happened to it. And I can recreate another one for my children. Now, if you're ex-military, you probably understand how we live in, even as adults. We tend to have that, I have a tote of just stuff that I've collected from my entire life and my journey. It's got little bits of this and that in it. It's got some just the little tiny stuff that you can potentially, if something should happen here, I could throw it in the car, and that would be my personal belongings I would take with me to the next location after abandoning like this entire home. But so yeah, I pretty much live in at all times in duffel bags, or at least enough items to put in my car. I try not to pack too much stuff if I ever had to go. Yeah, I bet you do, Scott. Now, my dad he was actually in the tail end of World War II. He enlisted in the military when it was the Army Air Corps. There was no different branches of service at that time. So yeah, I think it was called the Army Air Corps. There was no Army or Air Force; they were both combined. But then he went through the transition of them actually splitting up. So yeah, he was around for a while. An old retired master sergeant. And I believe my mom said he spent about 40 years in the military. So he did like 2 full hitches. So he was in there for a long, long time. Because, back then there was nothing else to do to make money. He when he was growing up as a child, going back and forth to school, he was working at the mills, making clothing and stuff like that. I mean, horrible way to grow up. He eventually died from emphysema, and a lot of that had to do with working in the mills because all the fabric and stuff screwed up his lungs. But let's see, the postcard idea sounds like a really fun idea. I would love to see some postcards pop up in that PO box, but if you click on my icon, it'll take you to my channel's description, and my PO box is listed there. There's 2 different PO boxes because we live in Alaska, and some products don't ship to Alaska, on the first one. So there's a second one, and those are products, like things that might have batteries or something. If it says the product won't ship and you need to use an additional address, that second address is the one. But like for Amazon products, because we run into that all the time up here. And I was using a third party in the lower 48 to bounce items off to get them up here. So whenever it said, sorry, the item won't ship, I'd send it over across the country. It would hit a friend of mine and he would mail it up from there. And it's just a silly way of trying to get around things. I don't know. It doesn't look healthy. This is good stuff here, man. I mean, this is the type of food that I live on now. On the carnivore diet. This is no problem here. And I can eat every bit of this. I struggled through that steak I made yesterday. I had a hard time. I only ate like half of it during the live stream. My son came home. He ate a bunch of steak. I finished it up. I did finish his half for dinner. My wife came home and ate some. Yeah, we love steak. This is really good. I got no sauce on here, no hot sauce, no barbecue sauce, no ketchup. This is just really good. Just that little bit of taco meat with the whatever seasoning on it mixed in with the eggs and everything else seems to work pretty good because a lot of the seasoning is kind of rubbed off on the ham. So it's not like too much taco seasoning like on everything, and it got on the eggs too. But yeah, that was a super fun way to make eggs like that. Just get them in your pan, get them cooked up, cover them up, and then let that other pan heat up and just flip them over, and it makes these eggs so perfect. Because I'm not a big fan of scrambled eggs, because it just sucks up all the oils or whatever, and I don't want everything being stuck inside the eggs. Yeah, they don't talk too much about history. Looks like somebody there waving the Russian flag. Hey, how you doing over there? Yeah, the Russians, the Ukrainians, and all them, those are my neighbors. We have a lot of Russian families that live here in Alaska. A lot of Ukrainian families, a lot of families from Somalia, all over the world. We got families from everywhere that live here. I do eat moose, dab daddy. I love eating moose, but we only had a little bit of moose this year, and that was a gift from one of our relatives that got a moose. And it was pretty good. We had some moose steaks. We had some ground beef. I'm trying to think. There might have been something else in there. But yeah, we definitely ate it all. We did not let it go to waste. And if you don't like wild game, like stuff like caribou. Caribou meat makes a really good sweet and sour meatball, if that's something you can eat. Um, Moose meat, ground up moose meat, makes an incredible tomato sauce, a meaty tomato sauce. It is so good. Moose meat for lasagna or anything like that, tomato based. That'll help some people that aren't used to eating any type of wild game. Yeah, Carnivore Scott, I would like, if I had some tallow, I would appreciate it how the scrambled eggs would soak up the tallow. Now, if I cook in just butter, I don't mind the butter being added in there. Uh, Bacon grease isn't too bad. Now, when I'm cooking a burger bowl, so I like to cook up the burger meat first, and then I'll add in eggs while at the tail end where the burger's already done, it's already browned. I'll put in eggs in, and then I'll just mix it all up, and I'll get the extra added value from the eggs, and it'll soak up all the burger grease and juices and stuff like that, and just gives you a burst of energy too. It's really nice. Just add a little bit of salt and you're off. Okay, here it is making its own documentary, and Bill Knott from Alaska is in it. Yeah, I can't wait to see the documentary. I'm not sure if I'm going to be working or not when those guys get up here this summer. It would be nice to meet up with some of them and, at least hang out with them. Doesn't mean we have to create a video together. We just, it'd be nice to bump into them. It'd be nice. Let's see. I am from Anchorage, Alaska there. Let's see. Wavy gets hose. Wow, that's an interesting one. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska. I've been doing the carnivore diet. Let's see, this is about week 50 of my weight loss journey, and I've lost over 120, 125 pounds. The weight goes back and forth at times because after a while you get to a plateau. That's where I'm at. So this week I'm going to be pushing to get outside more, be more active, especially after what happened last weekend. I was blown away, and I'll be talking about that in this weekend's update video. I'm super excited to get that one out and talk about it. But I can't spill the beans on everything I do, or else nobody will want to watch my video. I don't know. Maybe nobody wants to watch my videos anymore either. They don't mind jumping in on the live streams, but yeah, trying to get people to watch videos, it's hard. I mean, building a video is hard. It's a lot of work. People don't get how much time and energy it takes to build a video. Like this last video I did of going south of Anchorage. I was surprised it didn't have an uptick after upload at all. Or even this morning when I woke up, I was like, I must have done something wrong. I made a horrible video. People don't want to watch it. Hey, Scott, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining in. Sausage and eggs. Yeah, sausage and eggs is great. Reindeer sausage, I love doing that. I like to slice it up kind of thin, and then I brown that in the pan. Get it browned on both sides. And then I'll add some eggs on top of that. That's really decent. I couldn't imagine going back to eating nothing but vegetables again and thinking I was going to lose weight. That's the furthest thing that happened. Because every time I did that, I tried to eat salad. Well, not only does just plain vegetables taste like crap, I was miserable. I wasn't in the right state of mind. I was starving when I was eating salads, and I would even try adding in, vegetable proteins and stuff like that to give me a more full feeling. But then I was just wrecking it by putting salad dressings on top. And the salad dressings have high fructose corn syrup in it, so you're just eating something that you're not enjoying in the first place, and then your salad dressing is ruining it. And people don't recognize that the salad dressing is 90% of the problem, because a lot of these salad dressings have high fructose corn syrup, soybean oils, other type of seed oils that are inflammatory. And as soon as you create inflammation in the body becomes stressed. When your body's stressed, you don't release cortisol. When you release cortisol, you're not necessarily going to lose weight. You could potentially build some muscle, but you're going to hold on to whatever's there. It's going to create water retention. So that's going to make your scale numbers go up. When your scale numbers go up, That affects your anxiety, your depression, your mood. It gets you to eat a cookie or a piece of cake. That's where it gets you, a bag of potato chips, because you're like, I saw my weight go up and I was eating nothing but vegetables. Well, yeah, okay. You're eating nothing but vegetables, but you added crap for your salad dressing because the vegetables tasted like trash and you needed some freaking flavor. Well, when you eat a meat-based diet, you can add seasonings, depending on what affects you. It tastes good. You like it. It's fun to make. It smells good in the house. I've never walked in the house and been like, that salad smells amazing. Not once. Not once in my entire life. And I'm not vegetables are bad for you advocate. I will keep saying that over and over again. I am not against vegans. I'm not against vegetarians. I am against what vegetables do to this guy right here. Vegetables make me constipated, irritable, cranky. I can't focus. Constipated is like the number one on that list, by the way, because if you eat a lot of vegetables, you become constipated. Number two is the kidney stones. Yeah, when I was starting to get kidney stones from eating, spinach, kale, lettuce. Lettuce gives me sugar cravings. Crazy. Never thought lettuce would give me sugar cravings until I took everything out of my diet, fasted for an extended period of time, and I slowly started trying different things, adding them back in like you would do with an infant. When a baby's born, you don't just feed them a steak. You don't just feed them lettuce. I mean, you got to grind it up. You wouldn't feed a baby vegetables right off the bat, would you? I mean, I know some people do. But yeah, you give them green beans and babies are like, most babies don't like green beans. They also don't like that other mushy stuff. I mean, I don't know. There's some baby foods out there that are just horrible, like horrible. I don't know if they're made right. Also, can you just go out and fish and put nice title on the post and you'll get back on people's algorithm? Oh, I don't know, Matt. I'm not worried about it. I mean, like I said, I'm not out here to make money off of YouTube. It is nice that we get a little bit of ad revenue at times, but it's not a big deal. Let's see. It's YouTube algorithm. It's not big. It won't recommend your videos to new people hardly. Let's see. I'm looking at your stuff, and it's not calling a large audience. Let's see. You should switch up a little bit. Do some homesteading. I can't really do homesteading. I live in a trailer park in Anchorage, Alaska. The best I can do is basically get people out in the neighborhood and travel around and do stuff like that. I have been doing some videos like that, and I do plan on continuing to do outside type stuff here because that stuff people will come back and watch years from now. It doesn't have to be relevant to just today. There's no timestamp on it saying like this is only relevant. Like shopping videos. Shopping videos are relevant for that 6-month period. That's it. That's all they're going to get views for. So if you're going to do a shopping video, it either needs to be funny, very informational on topics that are going to last. That's the key, to making videos that are going to come back. So weight loss videos, those tend to last. Some of my older weight loss videos, they started out poor, like really poor, like 500 views. And then all of a sudden, some of them are up to like 17,000 views, which is great. I mean, that's what drives a YouTube channel is those older videos that are researchable topics coming back to life, and then people find it interesting. I did a lot of research on YouTube and how everything works. There was an old guy. He posted videos from many, many years ago, and I think he passed away, but his YouTube channel just blew up. I mean, it just blew up. If he was alive and still making money, that channel would have been making, because that channel was getting millions of views, and it went for so many years, like almost 10 years with no views. Like we're talking like maybe 50 to 100 views per video. And then all of a sudden it's just like one day, we're getting 100,000 views on some of his older stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So yeah, if you make a YouTube channel, definitely gift it to somebody else before you pass away. That's a great idea. At least give somebody your password so they can take it over. All right. So, let's see, Matt Martin, what you got going on there? I'm scrolling back through, would you quit vaping for your kids? I tried that. I have absolutely tried to quit vaping. And I did that right in the middle of my weight loss journey. So that is going to be, although I did quit smoking, by the way. So will be something I will be tackling at some point. So, I mean, yeah, if you want to find out more about that, because I did find a pretty decent way to figure out how to get over a lot of addiction. And a lot of it's the same principle as weight loss too. So once you master weight loss, it makes other addictions easier to conquer, because the same principles apply. You know, you're fixing what's going on up here over what's going on right here. Yeah. Can I ask you how much on average the ad revenue gets you? Yeah, we're talking like maybe a cup of coffee a day. Maybe. Okay, so step by step, respect, brother. But yeah, seriously, like a cup of coffee a day. I'm talking like a coffee at an espresso stand or a Starbucks, you know, $7-8 if you're lucky. So realistically, on average, I think I could, you know, say that my channel might make $3 a day. So $3 a day. So it takes me, and we only get paid out after $100. So if you don't make the $100 in the month, that carries over to the next month, and then that'll pay you out whatever you made in the next month. I mean, this is why people do affiliation links. They do sponsored content and stuff like that, because that's what really drives the money. You're not making money off of ad revenue unless you're creating videos that automatically get 50 to 100,000 views. So if your videos are down in the thousands, you know, like mine at times, yeah, you're not going to see that big uptick unless you start creating viral videos. But if you get past the initial starting points, you know, 4,000 watch hours, whatever your qualifications are to get monetized, if you should ever create a short video, that goes viral. You never know. You could make some money off of that. It's got to have tremendous RPMs, but it has to have like millions of views in order to make a bunch of money off it. AT Rock, we are eating eggs with a little bit of ham I cooked up and a little bit of leftover taco meat. And this is mainly what I do. This is mainly what I eat on the carnivore diet. Very good stuff. It's amazing how fast an hour goes by when you're doing these. I mean, it's already been an hour. Okay. You want to get monetized because of fireworks. They're no legal across all 50 states. I don't know what that would have to do with anything. I've heard of issues around, I think it's how you spin the topics, Matt, you know, when it comes to getting certain things monetized or demonetized, because there's a lot of community guideline rules. You'd have to actually contact YouTube. Now, this little account you have here that says Matt Martin, that's technically your YouTube channel right there. You can change your icon, you know, to something similar to like mine. You can change it to whatever. You can change your handle name, so you can take Matt Martin out. You can call yourself like Beef Taco or, you know, Fire Popper or, you know, Firecracker. But before you change your handle, Matt, I would research whatever names you're coming up with and seeing who else shares that same handle. So go up to the search engine in YouTube and type in whatever name you're thinking of creating your channel as, because you don't want to have your channel related too closely to something just crazy off the wall, not even close to your topic. So, you know, I called mine Big Man Alaska because I'm a big man. I live in Alaska. Everybody here calls me Big John or the big guy when I show up on a job site. You know, the big guy's here. Here's Big John, or go ask Big John a question or whatever. So yeah, it's just relevant to me. Plus, I'm a big guy. I live in Alaska, so go figure. Big Man Alaska. All right, I chose it. It stuck. People told me to change my channel name to something carnivore related, you know, and hopefully get me more in the carnivore community. I said, but what if at some time I don't want to be making so much content around carnivore type topics? What if I decide to, you know, want to make content around hunting or fishing or stuff like that? You have to broaden your horizon and leave yourself an out. Yeah, thank you, Amber, for mentioning that. So, yeah, we got 12 people in here. It's not uncommon to have low people in the stream at the time, but there is 3 dots at the top. I don't know if it's on this side or that side, but there's little 3 dots. If you click on that,
It'll show you the like button and a couple other options there you can fiddle with. Okay, does YouTube have a helpline with real people I can talk to? No, not as far as I'm aware. There is an application you can download on your phone. It's called vidIQ, and they also have an application called TubeBuddy. Both of those apps are extremely helpful for content creators. Some of them, like vidIQ, also has like an AI coach, but we're talking about paid versions here. So yeah, these people require you to actually pay them a little bit for their time, which is normal. I mean, you'd expect that, right? Oh, okay. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate the sub. But yeah, I got no problem talking about all this YouTube stuff because, you know, when I started, it was hard figuring it out. You know, trying to figure out, like, because we overthink things. We overthink the algorithm. And then we don't overthink the thumbnails or the titles. That's the hardest part. Thumbnails and titles are the two hardest part, because those two things can make or break a video. I mean, you can be, you know, have the most perfect video for the algorithm, and if your thumbnail and title's wrong, you're not going to get a click-through rate. People aren't going to actually see the video. They're not even going to come in. They're not going to stumble into it. You can pay me. I do it for cheaper. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay. Rate and turnover. I love your live so much. Keep going, please. I would not have YouTube without. I appreciate that. Yeah. The live streams are fun, and they're fun because I can actually interact with you guys, like almost like we're sitting across the kitchen table. I can make something to eat. You know, I can do stuff around the house. If I go outside the house, I tend to have issues with connectivity. The image can get pixelated. The audio can just suck. And I don't have an updated phone yet. When I get an updated phone that I can plug an external mic into, I can actually throttle down the outside elements a little bit, so you're not hearing like just cars going by, kids screaming. That's annoying to me when I'm watching other people's streams, is the audio is just so in your face loud. But yeah, it's a lot of fun making these live streams. It's definitely a lot of fun connecting with people. But the thing is, when you're making lives, you need to try to keep talking. You need to try to make it interesting a little bit, you know, do something, because you're going to have, it's a revolving door. People come in, people go out. Like we went down to 9 people watching. Now we're up to 11. And then sometimes the viewer numbers is going to jump up to 53 to 100 at times. Don't pay attention to that. I wish there was a way I could just put my thumb over that and just block it. It's distracting. I mean, it is motivating to see somebody actually in your live stream while you're talking. So it makes you want to actually talk more about relatable type stuff. All right, let's do it. Hey, Matt, I wouldn't worry about any of that monetization stuff. You got a long way to go before you get close to monetization. Most people, it takes them an average of a year from the start date to monetization. I did that exactly on predicted schedule, because that's what they told me. They said expect about a year. So I'm going to say the same thing to you. You can get there before a year if you know how to make videos that people want to watch. That's the hard part, because anybody can make a video. Anybody can upload a video. Trying to get people to want to watch it is the hard part. And again, you only get, so when you're uploading a video, like if I upload one video today, I only get so many slots throughout the day that video is going to be recommended. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be like in your face recommended. It means it's going to be somewhere in the Tumblr that you scroll through. And if it's not interesting to you, it just gets swiped on past. And the more times that people don't click on it, even if it's within your niche, chances are it's just not going to get seen or viewed. Just Mother Nature and the way it works in YouTube. Hey there. Hi, I'm French. Nice to meet you. I'm Alaskan. I live here in Anchorage, Alaska, and we do the carnivore diet. Not into watching someone eat, but you are into coming in here and commenting about how you don't want to watch somebody eat. So that means you're into watching somebody eat enough to come in here and comment. So that means I'm doing my job. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is what I love about this. I get the wise guys to come in here. And by the way, I'm a dad. I've had a lot of stepkids in my life. So yeah, I know how to deal with wise guys. I don't know how to pronounce Uwama. I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, but I am saying hi. Man, this is good. Like a little bit of taco meat on top of eggs. Like not a lot, but just a little bit. I'm actually enjoying this. And then with the ham steak, yep, not bad. Okay, it's a little bit after 11 o'clock in the morning here in Alaska. At some point, I need to get outside. I'm going to go check the P.O. box. I'm just praying for a postcard. So if you guys want to send me a postcard, please. It only costs a little bit. You don't even have to put a return address on there. I'm definitely not going to fly to wherever you live. That's for sure. Because, yeah, I live here. But, yeah, I'd love to start collecting a bunch of postcards. Oh, yeah. You're the booby guy. I like that. Nice. And sometimes I got to remember, because I got fat thumbs. So when I'm typing on other people's streams, sometimes I'll, something random, either from predictive text or, I just might spell something wrong. And it'll come out like something like boobies or whatever. But, when you're doing anything on social media, you just got to roll with the punches, because there's always somebody out there trying to crush you. And the person that's trying to crush you is an absolute zero nobody. They have nothing going on in their life. They're just sitting there behind the screen, just a miserable freaking cow, because they're eating all kinds of crap food. Now, the people that are typically healthy and shape and have no problems, they're going to waste their time and coming in here, picking on a fat guy trying to lose weight and talking about his weight loss journey. They're not going to waste that time because they got other stuff to do. They're busy. Or buy these auto parts. Ow. Yeah, my daughter likes to do that. I don't work there anymore. I do like wearing the shirt. I did think about walking into the store one day and just start, putting items up just for fun. They'd probably take my shirt back that day, but then they'd have to buy the shirt back because we have to pay for these. Can't remember how much I was charged for the shirt. Wasn't much more than $20, I don't think. But the ironic reason I'm wearing this shirt is because when I started at O'Reilly's, I was 435 pounds. This was the first shirt they gave me. This is a double XL. I couldn't fit in this shirt. Hold on here. I sound ridiculous. I could not fit in this shirt. This was a double XL. I needed something like a 5XL. If I put that thing on, it looks like I'm wearing a beach towel. It's so big now. But yeah, that was 50 weeks ago. I mean, that's amazing how much weight you can lose in 50 weeks. And I'm going to be honest here. I've done all of this weight loss without any exercise, like little to no exercise at all. Like just get in a dump truck, go to work, drive around in circles. I'm not doing anything spectacular to lose weight. It's my selling point is I lost over 120 pounds just using fasting practices and using, keto, KetoVore, and carnivore eating principles. And the weight just came off. Just learning how ketosis works was the deciding factor to getting my weight loss started. I mean, it was pretty amazing. I'm not upset about it. I'm getting down to the nitty gritty on this plate here. I'm going to have to give the rest of this to my dog. I'm also going to have to start getting cleaned up here. I need to get out the door and go do stuff. Here, pup. All right. I need some outfits for this. If I could get some outfits, you know, I'd probably do like that one lady that if you scroll down through these live streams, and you can if you like click up here and then you scroll up, you'll come across a lady. I don't know where she's from, but she's got a whole bunch of monkeys. She just sits there in a little room with the camera rolling, and all she does is she just takes outfits and puts them on her monkeys. I would love to do that with a room full of cats. Just sit there and dress up cats for like a couple hours. It would be such a blast. And see how many, because she gets like, what, 1,500 people just watching the live stream. That's crazy. And that's making money for her. Let's see. Have you ever been in an accident while driving a dump truck? Let's see. Driving a dump truck. No. I had an accident with a set of doubles years ago. That almost took me out of here. But yeah, I spent almost 20 years of truck driving, like accident free. So yeah, I had like over 2 million miles of trucking with no accidents, which is crazy. Then I went a very long time with no speeding tickets or no tickets until this year. I got a ticket for rolling through a red light. But just the camera angle the officer had looked totally different than what I was looking at through my windshield. But I wasn't. It's just one of those things. It's so rare that I ever get a ticket. I just wasn't worried about it. I'm pretty sure my cat would claw me to death. But no, wouldn't it be fun? I mean, I'd watch that. You know, some big giant guy sitting in a room with a bunch of cats, putting little outfits on each cat, making them dance around like dolls. I mean, I'd be entertained with that. I don't know. Maybe I just crack myself up. I do not make a whole lot. I mean, I make an average wage, but since inflation happened, you know, everybody got a pay raise, but that pay raise just kind of balanced out the amount of money we were already spending out of pocket. So it's almost like we're not making any more, even though our paycheck says a higher number. The money spends just as fast. Doesn't matter if you're making, you know, $10 an hour or $30 an hour. I mean, we're spending through the money quicker than we could save it. And that's my hardest part. Adria Rose, hey there. How are you doing? I'm Big John at Big Man Alaska. I primarily talk about weight loss, carnivore diet type stuff. I do outdoor Alaska type adventures. We did one here yesterday. Well, actually, I just uploaded it, but it was over my birthday weekend. We decided to go South Anchorage and just drive around, because right now in April, it's right before the tourists get here. And it's for us locals, it's a lot of fun to get out and get down on Tourniquet Arm before there's a whole bunch of RVs. With the RVs comes a bunch of traffic accidents and stuff like that. So yeah, we like to get out, even though the weather's not perfect. There's a lot of snow. It's kind of chilly. It's one of those things. Let's see. I'm good. Love cat. So cute. I have 2 cats. Yeah, we got 3, but these are working cats. Now they like to get the mice out of here, because I live in an old 1975 trailer home here in Alaska, and they have holes in them. I mean, the little critters like to come in from the outside. I gotta pick up some of my stuff. Get it out of the way. Pick up around the kitchen time. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that over there. Whew, my dog wants to go outside. Come on, gotta take the puppers out. You guys coming with me? Bet you didn't know that. Here we go. Come on, let's get outside. Take a look around Alaska. You guys see outside? Yeah, as you can see here, my yard is not very big. But if you get back here in the backyard, I do have a nice little park. That is right outside my bedroom window. My face. My stream died out for a second. Are you guys back? Well, yeah, that's the view out my bedroom window. So at night time, it's just crazy. Let's get back in the house. My son did a great job cleaning up the dog poop around the yard, so I'm not like walking through piles of poo. All right,
Hey, puppy. Oh, no. So this is my entryway. I built this a couple of years ago now, and I like it because we've had to do a little bit of patchwork up there, but we can just hang our fishing rods up here, just collect our winter gear in here. And I've only had a couple thieves come through here once in a while, help themselves to my stuff. Yeah, get out of the way. But that's why we put a lock on the front door. So when the hobos and the thieves start migrating all over the place, we tend to lock that front door. That way they can't get in. It's like a really large bolt. And yeah, it makes it really hard to get in the entryway. I mean, granted, if they really wanted in there, they could start busting stuff, but that'd wake us up and we'd come out with guns from like 3 different directions. Let's see. Yeah, we lost connection there for a little bit. But yeah, that view out the back side of the trailer, which is where my bathroom is at, is just absolutely gorgeous out there. I mean, it's so nice. I mean, let's see if I can go. Let's go walk through, see what I can see. Because I need to clean the windows. It's spring, and every winter the windows get dirty. It's a trailer home, so yeah, we got to make do with what we got. It's not a big deal. I like it. I like living in trailer homes because they're unique. They have a lot of different stuff going on with them. Well, let's see here. Get that out of the way. Scoot you guys over. I got to come through and do some dusting and stuff. But yeah, when I look out my bedroom window, I get this awesome view. So just imagine just laying there in bed, and that's what you see when you're asleep. But when I'm laying in bed, I'm actually down lower, so I'm looking up over the top of this trailer here, and I notice that their cap on their stove is falling off. That window is filthy. I need to get outside and wash the outside too, because when the wind blows, it blows all the crud and stuff up. Yeah, we got to lock up everything these days. Pretty much everything here in Alaska is one of those things. We've said this forever. You know, if you leave it outside and it's unlocked or out in the open, it'll grow legs in the middle of the night. It doesn't matter where you live. I mean, you can live in Willow, Alaska, Houston, Alaska, Wasilla, here in Anchorage. I've actually had less theft here living in the city. And I was always told that, oh, everything's going to get stolen. So far, the only thing that's gotten stolen here was one of my propane tanks for my barbecue grill. And then, well, my son's bicycle got stolen, but that was because he was too lazy and didn't lock it up when he was at a Target. But yeah, really not a whole lot has gotten stolen since I moved here to Anchorage. And I started here in Alaska living in Wasilla, and I was always told, you know, Anchorage is such a dangerous place. There's so much crime. There's so much this or that. The traffic's horrible. The traffic's better here in the city than it is out in the valley. So out in Wasilla, there's only a couple roads that go to the store. There's only so many stores for that amount of people. So everybody's cramming into all the few stores that are out there. So on the holidays, it's impossible to find a parking spot. Come here, you. So that's why we moved into Anchorage. I mean, because it's just there's actually less traffic living in Anchorage. And I don't have to drive as far to go to Costco. They don't have a Costco out in Wasilla. There's a lot of stuff they don't have in Wasilla, and we have to come into Anchorage just to do. So even the airport, you know, the airport's here. People are always coming in and out of the airport, relatives. So before, when our relatives from Nome would fly down here, we'd have to drive in from Wasilla, which is about a 50-mile drive, to pick up our relatives and then drive them all the way out, you know, to Wasilla. They'd spend the night. Then we'd have to drive all the way back in the next day, you know, to bring them to their doctor's appointments. It was a lot of driving. We put hundreds and hundreds and thousands of miles on our vehicles, just picking up relatives and friends that flew in. It's crazy. Well, if I hear what's going on, good evening from the UK. Hey there, Faith. Yeah, well, I'm Big Mad Alaska. I typically talk about carnivore-related topics. We're talking about Alaska type stuff right now. I live here in Anchorage, Alaska. I moved from Wasilla, Alaska. I lived out in Wasilla for a number of years. I owned several mobile home trailers out there.
even owned a house. My cat has to fluff the tail in front of the camera. But yeah, good to see you there. What part of the world are you in, Faith? I like to keep track of where people are from a little bit. You don't have to give me your neighborhood, just what country. Oh, you said from the UK. Apparently I missed that part. I think I might have even said that out loud. I have a habit of doing stuff like that. But yeah, we're just enjoying life. I just got done eating. We're going to start wrapping up the live stream here before long. I like to get on here for an hour or two in the beginning of the week. Try to do some of these live streams, just talk to the people that randomly pop in. We do have a lot of people that come in here religiously, which is, I thank them very much. The moderators are so helpful. And I like seeing the little wrenchy handles, because at least I know I can recognize you like right off the top of the bat, especially if you were to change your handle name or something like that. I could definitely see you. Oh, London, very nice. Man, I always wanted to go over there. But then again, when I lived in the lower 48, I always wanted to go to Alaska too. Especially because I found out that I was born here. So I wanted to come back to where my roots were. And since I got here, I've left Alaska a couple times to go to the lower 48 for work. And then I usually come right back, because there's so many rules and regulations in the lower 48 and all these places that I lived that that's what I love about living here is there's a lot less regulation, put on me, living here. I'm not getting just random traffic tickets for just anything and everything. It seems like whenever I lived in lower 48, they were wanting to give you a ticket for just breathing air. You're looking at the sky the wrong way. Here's a $75 ticket. Or you sat down on the wrong park bench. You need to sit down on that one. That's a handicapped park bench and you're not handicapped. So now we're going to ticket you $120. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I got tired of that. I got so tired of that over the years. Just all the tickets. And I'm the guy that was getting tickets for speeding on a bicycle. I mean, coming down a hill on a bicycle, I was coming down the hill too fast. They're like, you were doing 45 and a 35. I'm like, no, I'm on a bicycle. I don't know that. I don't have a speedometer, but okay. So now I went through a lot. I went through a lot growing up. If it was fun, I got in trouble for it. Hello, north of Norway. Hey, right on there, Rita. North of Norway. That's a beautiful place. I would love to go to Norway too. London and Norway. Yeah. I'd like to get a postcard from you guys if you could. I mean, you don't have to. Postcards are cheap, but yeah, I would love to get a postcard. See what kind of pretty stamps you might have. They're inexpensive. If you click on my channel there, you can actually click on the description section, and I got a P.O. box there. If you guys could do me that favor. I'd definitely talk about that on a video. So, just tell me a little bit about whatever you want to tell me about, and I can talk about it at some point. We can do it on a live stream or whatnot. But what I want to do is I want to make a collection of postcards in a shoebox. I'll have to figure out a shoebox, but I think I have some. But I don't have any postcards yet. So as soon as I start getting postcards, if I do, and I'm going to start mentioning this in my weekly videos too, that I'd rather have postcards than people send me a bunch of money or a bunch of gifts because, it just, I don't know, that's more personal, right? Getting a postcard from somebody with a little bitty, however much information you can put in there. I mean, that's great. I mean, that would be so much fun. I would appreciate that. And I guess it's something I didn't really appreciate as much when I was younger. Because I'm not into the birthday cards, Christmas cards. Christmas postcards, that'd be cool. But yeah, people that go out and spend $20 on a Christmas card, something that they could have probably thought up by themselves. It's expensive. I mean, I don't know. Keep it real. All right. Keep it real. New Orleans, Louisiana here, checking in. Thumbs up. Hey, thank you there. I appreciate it. But I'm going to have to wrap up this live stream. As much as I love to stick around and just hang out and just yammer on for hours and on end, I don't mind. But I do need to get out of the house, go to the P.O. box, check it out. I probably need to clean up this kitchen before the wife gets home. She'd be upset. We had it all looking good, and then I screw it up on a live stream. Dirty up 2 pans and a bunch of dishes. It's kind of what I do. Just making one meal for myself. It's funny how fast we collect dishes. I mean, you get all the dishes done, and then like an hour later, your sinks are full, and you're like, what the heck did I just do to myself? I mean, I was trying to get ahead of the game. All right. So I got 7 people in here. I got 12 likes today. That's pretty nice. I appreciate you guys. All right. Again, yeah, I'm Big John here in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm going to be cutting out here on this live stream. My typical topics revolve around Alaska outdoor adventures, just trying to get around the area, show people the neighborhoods. I talk about weight loss topics. The carnivore diet is something I'm doing for better health and weight loss. I don't care what type of diet you're doing. I just pray that you have better health and you're not suffering like I was. Again, I started out at 435 pounds, and now I can actually get out and be an unofficial tour guide, to places less traveled here in Alaska. That's something I'm going to be getting into a little bit more. I expect those videos to pop up in the middle of the week. Expect weekly weight loss video and updates throughout the weekend. And then random live streams early on in the week is typically what I provide. And I could do live streams at any time, by the way. It's just so easy to hit that button and get things set up. But it's hard to get it set up in a way it's going to get views after I'm done with it. But all right. Oh, let's see if I can do this. Come here. Oh, I'm going to try. Maybe not. He's there. He's there. He's wanting to come in. He's wanting to come in frame. Come on. Come on. Don't make me move the camera. We're going to change this up a little bit. It's really hard to get stuff in frame. You're doing this. All right. Come on. Get that. Get it. Get it. Get it. Come on. You're like the most fun part of the live stream. Yeah. There you go. Oh. Getting in a cute position. Cute kitty position. There we go. I need to get outfits for my cats. If you guys want to send me outfits for cats, I will absolutely put them on these cats and make them dance around. And we can figure out something fun to do with them. So yeah, you can do that too. You can send me outfits for these cats. I got 3 cats, and I could probably find a room small enough we could do that. Or yeah, I could do that too. That'd be fun. All right, guys. I want to thank all of you. I'm going to fumble with these buttons, and we're going to work our way out of there. Thank you, Chris, for jumping in. I appreciate you. Donna, Amber, all of you that usually come on in here, Scott from Carnivore, Carnivore Scott, and everybody else that jumps in. I appreciate you guys as well. And we're just trying to get healthy and stay in better shape. And I need to get outside. We got a little bit of sunshine, so I'm going to try that out. I might get my mountain bike out today for the first time in over a year. Going to see how that goes. I'm still pretty heavy. All right. We're going to try it out. All right, guys. Thank you. And then Izamak says, hiya. Hey there. I'm taking off. John from Anchorage, Alaska. We'll be back again, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more about nonsense that we do and create here. All right. Take care.